Hi, Devdutt. Look, this term non-dualism and dualism, it's really confusing to me. I have a question. What is the difference between dualism and non-dualism? And should I know when yogic text is dualistic and non-dualistic, will it really matter to the teachings and to my understanding of what's being said within the text? Any words of wisdom, I'd be greatly appreciated.
Dualism, or these words like Advaita, Daita is used a lot by yoga teachers. Now, first, let's remember yoga reaches America through Vivekananda. It reaches through a whole bunch of yoga teachers who came especially from the state of Mysore, South India. Many of them were Brahmins, they were men, they were educated in Advaita. Advaita becomes a very important idea in the 19th century. But this dualism is a big Indian philosophy. And its understanding is very complicated. It also has political overtones. Please remember that when the British came to India, they said the Hindu world was flourishing till about 1000 AD. Then 1000 years ago, the Muslims came and destroyed everything, and then the British came and revived Hindu knowledge. So this is how the British claimed that they were the ones who saved Hinduism from Muslims. This was a colonial idea. And they include the idea that the real Hinduism is in Sanskrit and the real Hinduism is in the Vedas, and Vedanta or the Upanishadic ideas as real Hinduism. This idea is a British invention. It was never, Hindus had never saw it that way. The British were looking down on idol worship, and the Hinduism has complex ideas. Now, many in the right wing in Hinduism, the Hindutva people do believe that Advaita, they love the word Advaita, non dual. There's nothing, because it sort of unites the country. So it's coming from Advaita became, that is the non dual philosophies became popular because there's nothing other. Everything is one. This idea, monism, which is called, which Shankara's Advaita, was become popular for political reasons because it helps you unite a people. It also becomes popular because it sort of aligns with Christianity. You are a fallen soul and you're in this miserable world. And if you do yoga and you do prayer and bhakti, you will unite with God, which sounds very much like the original sin and salvation. So it sort of aligns with this global definition. So this non dual Advaita really sort of is become this very political, messy thing that people talk about. Really, nobody understands. I've heard every scholar, all the gurujis will talk and they all will be smug and selling their ideas. But to get two gurus sitting in front of each other, they'll start arguing with each other, they'll kill each other for all their non-violence, vegetarian conversations. If you want to understand Vedanta, you have to ask yourself what is the fundamental questions that the ancient Indians were asking themselves. So if you look at the earlier scriptures, the Vedas, they are very materialistic. They are talking about exchange, yajna. I call the gods, I give them things and expect them to give me back. And I'm having this conversation because I have to survive. But as the Vedas progress, you have conversations on something beyond the body. There is something more to life than material things. And therefore, spiritual ideas emerge. And the idea of Atma emerges. And then the question comes is, where is this divine thing that makes me alive? Is it located within me or outside me? This is an object, but this is not alive. How do I know it is not alive? It is not hungry for food. It is not seeking food. You and I seek food, therefore we are alive. Therefore, the Atma is present within us. But what about the world around us? Is there, larger? Is nature itself hungry for something else because it eats itself? So these are the questions that they are asking. And this idea of what makes you hungry? If you want to understand Atma, you have to understand this question. What makes you hungry? Because an inanimate object is not hungry and an animate object is hungry. So this word like Atma and everything comes from hunger, right? Now the question is, that which makes me hungry, the word used for it is Purusha, the word is used Shiva, use Atma, Brahman. Now it's present within me, it's present within you. Now is it part of nature, is it outside nature? That's the first question. Is it like in the Christianity, there's creator and creation, they're separated from each other. This is Dvaita, separation. But the Hindu thought would say that are they separate or is the creator and creation one and the same? And these conversations start, and there are a lot of conversations. But when we talk about separation and union, when we're talking about division, when you say Advaita, are you saying we are talking there to separate or they are different? Are we talking about separate? Are they separate or they are different? That's the question. So Advaita means they are not different, or is it they are not separate? So these are, hair-splitting philosophical arguments. Now, again, when you talk about two, separation or difference, are you talking about, what are you talking about? Are you talking about spirit and matter? Are you talking about soul and God? Or are you talking about self and the other, you and me? How do you understand this separation when we're talking about, yoga is union. So uniting what? Uniting matter with spirit, uniting the devotee with the deity, the soul with God, or is it connecting between you and me? So this is, you can keep arguing and arguing and arguing. And Advaita says there is no difference. Dvaita says there is a clear difference. And between these two is the biggest philosophical idea in India, which is called Bheda Bhed or Dvaita Dvaita, which says, well, depending on some points it is different and sometimes it's like the Indian head shake. And I subscribe to this because it's Bheda Bhed. It's very Indian, moving the head this way and that, depending on the point of view. And it's very Jain in that way, like Anekantavad. If you look at it from one point of view, they're different. If you look at it from another point of view, they're not. Let me give you an example. The tree and a seed. Is the tree and the seed the same or different? From one point of view, they're the same. It's part of this. Tree and the seed are one. Another is like, no, they are different because the seed is not the tree. The seed is not seeking water. The seed is not moving towards sunlight like a tree is. So therefore, they are separate. The other school will be saying like they're sort of they are part, but they are also separate. And the seed is essentially going to turn into a tree. So it does contain the tree within it, but the tree which is going to create is going to be separate. While it looks similar to the older one, but it's not the same. So this kind of conversation leads to conversation. Is it the same? Advaita. Are they different? Dvaita. Are they separate? Are they not separate or are they separate? Advaita, Dvaita. Not separate, not different. So these are the conversations. You can have hair splitting arguments over it. In the West, the natural tendency will be to align with the Christian thought that there is God and then there is the fallen soul who is trapped in samsara. I met once a German student who kept talking about Vedanta with such confidence, and I said, what you're saying sounds very much like Christianity because we are the soul suffering on earth and we need a savior, and God will be the savior. And many South Indian schools align with this thought. The God is the savior. They use words like Sharanagati, I surrender to you. You save me from this miserable world. Sounds like original sin. You're fallen down. Why? What is original sin? Desire. I desire things and I'll outgrow desire. So suffering. So Buddhism can also be seen that way. Desire is the cause of suffering, and if I give up desire, I will unite with the Lord. So you can use this paradigm. Whatever makes you happy. But it doesn't matter. The question is, does it make you a nicer human being? Following Advaita, Dvaita, I have seen horrible human beings who claim to be Advaita followers and Dvaita followers and temple followers and doing rituals properly and treating fellow human beings like horrible human beings. So my key performance indicator is, are you a nice person? And my definition of nice is very simple. Are you generous? Are you intellectually generous? Are you emotionally generous? Are you financially generous? If you are not a generous person, then what is Advaita, Dvaita, Yoga? So these are nice conversations. We can have a lot of these conversations to prove that one is smarter than the other. But as I said, they are complex ideas and it's good to understand our life. I mean, am I the same as you? The fact is, will I give you my property? Let's ask this question. And no, I won't. But we are similar to each other because we both want property. So there is a similarity, but there's a difference because my request, how much I want and how much you want will be different. But we are not the same. But there is many things similar between us. So, bhed abhed. Difference, non-difference. Separation, non-separation. Anyway, that's the way I look at it.
So if you're looking for more information about yoga and yoga mythology, pick up Devdutt Pattanaik's book, Yoga Mythology in 64 Asanas and Their Stories. This is a great resource for yoga teachers. We use this book as one of our resources in the Urban Sadhu Yoga teacher training, And also, you can check out Amazon and see all of the other list of really terrific books that Devdutt has written over the years that might apply to your yoga teachings.